Ahoy! We had a few events lately that involved two major things, a server-wide XP boost and temporary equipment that we could exchange tokens for. You know what that means? That means you can play on your other characters with decent weapons and accessories, which for me meant that it was the ideal time to start working towards the final combined level achievement. Well, I'm not one to brag, I didn't make this video just to show off. Rather, I'd like to share my strategy and give you some motivation. All of this was done with absolutely zero use of any macro or bot to farm for me, which I'm pointing out because the majority of players unfortunately use those all the time, especially for semi-linear XP and OXP farming. Unfortunately, back when I did most of the EXP-ing, I forgot to record video footage, so there isn't much I can show you, but I hope you won't mind my boring voice describing it instead. Now for the early levels, under 100, it's best to just do quests to get your skill rank as high as possible. Up until level 100, almost every quest gives you large amounts of skill XP, but after that you can start ignoring scenario quests unless you need honor points. If you're stuck without a quest and need some XP to unlock more, you can enter dungeons like Lake in Dusk, Ruina Station, Tower of the Dead B1F, Volcanic Citadel, and so on. Those are all amazing dungeons for XP. From level 110, Forgotten Temple B1F is available, which will likely get you to level 120 in no time, at which point you can enter Illusion Castle Underworld. If you can get to the orcs in there, you can farm your way to level 140 easily. Now from level 135 you can enter Eternal Chaos Arena, which is the best place to farm XP for a while. Unfortunately, it's also a very hard dungeon, so you might need some help from others or from event items. A lot of people would tell you to keep farming that until 190, but I found that Tower of the Dead B3F Part 2, which is available from level 160, vastly outmatches the XP gain of it. There are tons of monsters that give really amazing XP. The boss fights can be difficult, so the only way I could handle them was with the help of the event mentioned above, the temporary equipment. In just a few hours you can get your character from 160 to 190 easily. After 190, the level difference between your character and the common monsters is starting to show in reduced XP gain, so from then on I switched to Glacius Inferno, which is where I farmed until level 198. I'd also like to add that Devil's Tower 1 is available from level 180 and DT2 from 190, which are limited to 2 runs a day each, but even if you enter just to clear the first room, you get more XP in that short time than you'd get from hours of farming elsewhere. At level 198 it was time to start doing the scenario quests that were given after level 100. These ones no longer gave any skill XP, so they weren't really worth doing. Every quest is designed to give you around 10 to 20% of their respective levels progress in XP, but the reason I saved them up for the very end is doing all the leftover scenario quests from level 198 and around 20% is enough to get you to level 200, which was my final goal in this case. Of course, there was still a bit of leftover in a few cases, but that's nothing a little XP farming in Seni couldn't fix. Now for the tips. I know most of those dungeons are awfully hard and you won't do them with your gear if you're a new player, which is why I emphasized several times that the temporary exchange event is awesome. That event doesn't give you armor though, so survival is still a struggle. But here are a few things to help. First, evasion potions can really help, especially in huge crowds, because common monsters have very low accuracy, so a potion like that practically makes you invincible for 30 seconds. Second, don't forget to get your HP steal done. A rune at max level and a pair of vampiric earrings should be enough for most cases, allowing you to replenish your health as you attack. HP steal affects every enemy you hit, so in many cases you can also lure enemies around the boss to help you heal up between the boss's hits. Third, Game Master's Blessing. Occasionally, Game Masters log into the game to buff players up. A GM buff level 4 has amazing bonuses for survivability and damage, and it lasts a full hour as long as you stay alive. If all else fails or the XP boost event ends before you finish your goal, you can squeeze a bit of level progress with XP elixirs, available mostly from Guild Shop, Coupon Shop or Secret Merchant. Those aren't cheap though, but if you're the rich type you can use them. I didn't. So there you go, that's how I made it to the combined level 1800 achievement for a title with amazing new benefits, and I hope the contents of this video could help you with your similar endeavors or just getting your first character to max level. Ahoy!